Now, the landmark summit in Singapore might not have produced what many see as a specific agreement on denuclearizing North Korea. But a veteran U.S. State Department analyst says a slow but a steady approach could win the race in the long run. Our Oh Soo-young sat down with John Merrill, a former chief of Northeast Asia Division in the U.S. State Department's Bureau of Intelligence and Research.
So you've been at the State Department for nearly 30 years, analysing North Korea. You've seen quite a lot of US presidents come and go. So what would you say sets the Trump administration apart in terms of North Korea policy? And would you say it is close to achieving success on denuclearizing the North?
The verdict is still out on whether it's going to be successful or not. But I think the summit was a very promising start. I think Trump is different from his predecessors in a number of important ways. He knows, as a businessman and a deal maker, that the first thing that you have to do is to establish a bit of rapport with your opposite number. So I think he's been much more prepared to do that than his predecessors, who were standoffish. So I think that approach has produced some results. And of course, he's been helped by the fact that he's dealing with a new type of leader in North Korea, Kim Jong-un, and by a progressive president in the South.
Well, there is quite a lot of concern regarding the apparent downsizing of joint military exercises between South Korea and the United States. And you've said in the past that halting such war games in the South could make way for engagement with the North or even a deal on denuclearization. Yeah. So would you still stand by that position?
Yes, but with some qualifications. I've never advocated doing away with military exercises entirely. I think these war games had grown to over-the-top exercises. When you have 3 aircraft carrier battle groups with 3 air wings, and all those planes, many of the planes are nuclear capable, it's too much, particularly if what you're trying to convince North Korea to do is denuclearize. That sends just the opposite message.
Your Secretary of State, Mike Pompeo, did say earlier this week that he believes there is no timeline on this denuclearization.
I was very happy to see that, and he's exactly right. Sometimes the best is the enemy of the good. If we front-load this process too much and demand complete, verifiable, irreversible denuclearization, I'm not sure we're going to get much of anything. This is obviously something that's going to take years. This is a process that's going to have to build up momentum gradually.
Well, what would you say is the next step for the United States in securing the complete and verifiable denuclearization of North Korea?
I think you just have to go into this process with your eyes open, and you have to be patient. Apparently, we just submitted or about to submit a long list of asks to North Korea. I think it's unlikely we're going to get everything we want at the outset. What I would like to see is a down payment on denuclearization. North Korea sends some fissile material, maybe to the US, maybe to China or some other nuclear weapons state. And I would like to see the IAEA back in there. And I would like to see progress on other issues like human rights, for example. And I think this is all possible.
I see. Well, thank you very much for your time today, Dr. Merrill.
It's been a pleasure.